So, good morning, everyone. And I'm Dr. Kiran Sri, heading the Department of CSC at Vishnu Women's University, a private university, the first private university of Andhra Pradesh, first women private university of Andhra Pradesh and Telugu states. And the topic that I have chosen is generative AI in bioinformatics and precision medicine. The purpose of this particular discussion is about can what will happen if artificial intelligence system can process the genomic data, the biological content of a person, and try to propose a set of hypotheses what exactly is happening within the patient body, and try to give outcome the set of possible remedies for the disease is what the overall outcome of the particular discussion. When the artificial intelligence or machine learning try to uh, predict the diseases, the generative AI, what it will do is it will try to create, predict something. It will try to create, and when machine learning and AI try to classify the things, this generative AI will generate this. When it identify the patterns, like artificial intelligence identify the pattern, it can create and generate patterns. If whether the input is a DNA sequence and we wish to find out whether this is pertain to a disease or not. So generative AI identifies all the can give the output as the possible candidates for the disease. So it is the basic difference that between artificial intelligence and generative AI. And I start the presentation with a small query saying that if the two people are suffering with the same disease, why they need to have different type of medications prescribed by the doctor. So what can be the reason that these two students have having the same disease will has to respond differently to the same medicine? The reason, one of the reason can be the DNA of a particular person, which contains the entire information that we have. And it can, but your DNA contains of entire information about the human being. It can also be the genes that we have in the DNA. Genes are some part of DNA which contains instructions to make proteins. So DNA can be two individuals can be differ in the terms of DNAs. It can be then differ in the terms of genes. They can differ in the terms of proteins. They can also differ in the terms of the metabolism that we have in the body, which will enable us to see that we are alive and we are performing our duties. This is the metabolisms with the chemical actions that are happening in our body to see that we are alive. And the immune system, what type of immune system that we have in our body, and what is the environment in which we are living, and the lifestyle that we have, how much time we walk, and to further things have a direct or indirect impact on the way in which. So there's a need of personalized medicine for the particular. So the intention of the particular presentation is even in bioinformatics also, a lot of new algorithms are coming. They are using genetic as well as the traditional machine learning algorithms to assess the doctors. So we are doing this research for the last few years and wish to share this. so that the faculty members who are already working can work on their domain, and the people who have completed their PhD, because a lot of funding is there in this area, we thought of having a discussion like this. So what exactly is bioinformatics? Bioinformatics consists of the biological data. It can be a biology and data, as well as there is something called as a computing, which compute, because this modern biology produces enormous amount of data. A human genome alone can have roughly 3 billion DNA base pairs. Divided to 20,000 proteins every body will have in general. And it's very difficult to store the biological data. This is we need a system which can store the biological data and drive it fastly. So you can use the AI systems. We can analyze DNA sequences, whether analyze the DNA sequence and find whether this is disease prone or not. So you have a DNA sequence in the terms of AGCTs. We can identify new mutations. We can also compare genomes belong to whether in the internal genomes you can have a lot of analysis, and even whether the genome belongs to a mouse or the human. So her body consists of DNA. DNA will be transcribed to RNA, RNA to genes. You have can predict proteins and then functionality if you know the structure of the proteins. So understand the disease to create the molecules which will work against the disease so that the immune system in the patient can be protected. These are the simple example. You have a DNA sequence followed by a gene and mutation. So what is the mutation linked to the patient disease? So you can have a DNA sequence and then a lot of combinations will come. What change in this DNA sequence? What type of mutation means? Mutation is just a change in the structure of the what leads to the patient design can be understood. From AI to generator AI, what is that? We get the patient data. If you ask this patient data in the terms of DNA sequence and ask the system whether this particular input, DNA sequence, whether it is taken from fecal and tongue or any other data set, is prone to a risk in the terms of, assume that in the terms of a cancer I have asked, the outcome can be high or low, marginally high, marginally low. It can be this type of prediction that we have done. Now, what can be generated? This can be the question that I have asked. Because generative AI does this, identify the risk, also it can generate the input. If we give genomic data as well as clinical information, we can generate what is the reason that we have this disease has come, whether it is inherited from your father or mother. What is that pathway? Like you have a DNA sequence which is altered. It is a mutation, and from mutation you got a protein. From protein you are identifying the protein structure, and this pathways also you can identify. And we can also identify measurable biomarkers to identify the particular disease. See, at this moment, the this person BP is this biomarker is a measurable thing, and research hypothesis is something around you have to verify. This can be the reason that what type of research hypothesis is a thing that we need to verify. So in general, it is generative AI talks about exploring possibilities, not just fixing one. There are a lot of possibilities. So AI predicts, and AI sometimes generates, sometimes creates, and this is what exactly this artificial intelligence is talking about. So generative AI in drugs design, where you give the disease target, identify the basic target. See, disease target is there is a person who is suffering with a bone cancer. And generative AI will propose the molecular will proposes the possible molecular structures which recognize the disease, and these researchers have to evaluate the doctors and lab testing. If it goes, this is the candidate looking promising under the evaluation. So this can shorten the time to identify the promising class, because we have a lot of proteins, 20,000 proteins, and how many molecules are there. Every molecule has to be tested. It's very difficult. So it is a reverse process that we have done here.